Hey trickers, what's going on? Kyle, Epic here to teach you guys how to do the rise. Like so. I can't do it the other way because it's really sketchy. I trained this way a lot, so if you do it the other way, I'm really sorry, but maybe the tips will help a lot. Real fast, if you don't know how to do a tornado kick, this may be a little hard. So if you don't know how to do a tornado kick, poof! There's a video annotation for you guys, so if you guys don't know how to, you can go there, watch it, come back, and learn this. The easiest way I can think about explaining a rise is kind of thinking super laid back tornado kick. The tornado kick, your legs go in front and your body's kind of more like a hollow, whereas the rise, your hips are out and your body is more arched. So there's a big difference in it, and the takeoffs are kind of similar, but they're also, I don't know, it's really funky. What you want to think about is just mastering your tornado kick. When you have your tornado kick, you're going to start keeping your hips open and kind of, when you're doing your jumping part, instead of lifting that knee and kind of staying up tight when your chest is up, you're going to start leaning back more and opening your hips out. Instead of bringing this knee out, you're going to keep your legs and just reach them out. So instead of going like this in your takeoff, you're going to start going like that. So if you're turning around, like straight, you're still lifting your hips up, you're still pushing off that bottom leg, open, chest to the ceiling, arms come out, and you just open your body as you turn your hips and come out, 1, 2. So, laid back tornado, open body. Just start with that. You're gonna be very kind of flat in the beginning, and then this is where the hard part kind of comes to, where you start learning how to transition to go from being like this in your takeoff, where you start leaning back, to where you start going down and forward in your takeoff. So start by starting upright and open, and then you're going to start leaning back more and more over your shoulder. So use that guide of going step and coming down and going over your shoulder. If you can control your body to where when your chest faces the ceiling as you're going over your shoulder, it'll bring you more vertical on your way over and around. So that'll help a lot. Another tip that may help is try not to travel when you're doing your tornado kicks. Try to do them in place. If you do your rises where you travel, you can gain a lot of distance, which is cool now, but it makes it really slow and you're kind of using more power and effort than you need to. Not to mention that if you're going for a long combo, you're now limiting your space. So when you do it, try to do it in place, or when you're coming around, you got here, like so. Also, the other tip I was going to mention is to bring your chest up. I've seen a lot of videos where people are training their rises and they get around, it's good, but when their first foot lands, their chest is always low. So what you want to work on is when you're coming out, bring your chest up. So when you're doing your progression from the laid back tornado kick here, you're going to start keeping your chest open, and when you're coming around, stand up out of it. And as you progress more and more, you'll start going more and more vertical. Here, using your arms to kind of step here and pull, and that's it. That's one way you can progress. Now the detailed part of the rise, if you're still kind of having issues with it. So as you're going into your rise, your arms aren't going sideways, they're going up and over with that step, coming down and pulling up to my chest as I come around and over. Now that step, I kind of pivot my foot. So I'm not just planning straight forward, because if I plan it straight forward, it's going to be awkward for my hips to turn as I'm coming off. If my foot doesn't turn that way. So when you take that step, it's okay to turn your toes in towards you more and your heel out as you're coming, pulling up. Don't sprain your ankle over this. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a step and a half. And with that back leg, as you're bringing it up, you have to turn your hips. So over, down, pull, turn your hips to look over your shoulder as you pull your arms to your chest, and you lift that leg, and ideally by the time you're right here, you're actually upside down looking at the ground. So all you do is kind of plant, step, pull your chest up, and keep your arms up too. If you're kind of having issues landing, mind your arms. I see a lot of people who kind of do it and they'll fling their arms. So if you're still having the issues with the idea of like the torque, if you're not getting that, the kind of snap around in your rise, use your arms to start wide and pull them in. That'll help a lot. If you're having issues with traveling and you can't figure out how to stop traveling, pick a spot on the floor or draw something on the ground or look at a spot if you need to. You kind of aim to step on that spot, and when you take off, mind how you push off. If you push off forward, you're gonna go forward. If you push off sideways or backwards, you're gonna go that way. So mind which direction you push off of that step. Make sure you're pushing up. And if you want to think about it, your upper body kind of stays stationary in mid-rise while your legs is what actually does all the work for you. Your legs goes in almost a complete circle while your upper body kind of stays put. So watch, I'll show you one, like this. Upper body kind of stays stationary while the legs is what travels around. If you're doing this to use to help you learn a touchdown rise, all it is the same motion, but instead of pulling your arms in, one arm goes in, the other arm, which is the arm of the shoulder that you're looking over, that arm stays straight and plants on the ground as you come around. Before you want to do that though, you want to make sure that you're at least doing your rises where you can spot the ground before you land. That way you'll know you have plenty of time. You're not just risking and worrying about breaking your arm. You'll see it, you'll know where you are, and you'll have that extra control. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. I really appreciate you guys taking your time to learn these. I hope they helped you out a lot. If it helped you, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please, I urge you to share it because it helps me out. With nothing more to do, here's some slow-mos. Take great care. Stay positive, guys.